Good afternoon from Almost Real Media. It is June the 2nd, 2014. I'm Tim Stewart. On your screen, Mr. Robert Bergdahl's tweet. It has been a weekend of news, and more news, and today apparently will be no different. Mr. Bergdahl's tweet, as you can see here, at Al-Balki, I'm assuming that's how I say that, I'm still working to free all Guantanamo prisoners. God will repay for the death of every Afghan child. Amen. I believe that's supposed to be amen. Mr. Bergdahl's son was released in an unprecedented terrorist for soldier exchange orchestrated by the Obama administration. In doing that, we violated our own policy and our agreement internationally with others that we would not negotiate with terrorists. But we have nonetheless done that, exactly that. Remains to be seen what Mr. Robert Bergdahl's involvement is in all of this, as evidenced in his feed on Mr. Bergdahl's Twitter account. Many of his tweets are anti-American in tone and content. So it'd be interesting to look into Mr. Bergdahl and see exactly what kind of past this gentleman has, exactly what his role is in this entire prisoner release. Mr. Wolfgang Halbig, the owner of this site, Sandy Hook Justice, is a former Florida highway patrolman. He's a former school administrator, a former school principal, a teacher, a coach, and currently makes his living as a school security and safety officer, meaning that he goes around and teaches, gives lectures, etc., things of that nature to schools so that these people can better know how to protect themselves, their facilities, their grounds, etc. Mr. Halbig is more than likely the nation's foremost authority on school security and safety. But he has questions regarding Sandy Hook Elementary and the shooting massacre that happened there on December 14th of 2012. He does not he doesn't outwardly right now subscribe, rather I guess I should say, to the conspiratorial limb of things. He does concede that what he has found leads him to not believe the official story of Sandy Hook. He has 16 questions that demand the truth that he has listed on his website. Now, he's been investigating this since just a few months after the shooting happened, the event happened there, and these questions are not really of a conspiratorial nature. They come more from an incident manager's viewpoint with FEMA, because Mr. Halbig has also been an incident manager with FEMA, and these questions focus on things like who examined the bodies, why wasn't there an airlift helicopter there, why were the EMS not allowed in until 4 hours later, why were the parents only shown photographs according to Dr. Wayne Carver, the medical examiner that was there on site that we all remember seeing on the television news. So these are answers that really shouldn't ruffle any feathers, and yet during a podcast in which Mr. Halbig was giving an interview in February that I personally listened to, he was interrupted twice at the door by Florida Sheriff's deputies that had been contacted by Connecticut State Police to go out twice in an hour and a half period to his residence and tell him sternly to stop harassing the Connecticut State Police or they would have him arrested. So now apparently a man, woman, or child in America cannot ask questions and research or even investigate or delve into anything, because it's bad to ask questions right now in America. It's because we're living on so much of a lie, and so many of our representatives and officials, elected officials and those in authority, lie, lie, lie. That's why we are dealing with this type of response. Mr. Halbig took a trip up to Connecticut, to Sandy Hook, and spoke with the fire department that went to the fire station that was there, just about somewhere between 3/4 of a mile and a mile down the street from the now demolished Sandy Hook Elementary School, to ask questions. There he was physically assaulted, and he says that he and his crew that were there were civil, they were polite, they just asked the question. And a fireman jumped up and pushed him in the chest and nearly knocking him down. Basically trying to avoid the questions and shut Mr. Halbig down. This is very telling about what's going on in this country. We need to wake up. We need to be vigilant. And as always, we need to stay armed with the information, because the information is our only ally. We'll be back a little bit later on this evening with some news stories about Mr. Edward Snowden. He's back in the news after his interview there with some mainstream media. And we'll be back with some more 9/11 stuff as well. So until that time, stay armed, America. Stay armed with information, because information is your only ally.